All right. Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to BU220. This is week 2 of the class. And I want to provide a quick overview regarding week 1 and dive right into our current week. So, just as a reminder from week one was a week where you had the opportunity to read the new shoes case study. After reviewing the new shoes case study, you were to provide insight regarding starting your own athletic shoe company. So you would need to name your company. You would need to start thinking about what type of shoe you're selling and to whom. So the purpose of the week 1 assignment was to provide a foundation for whom you were selling to. So last week you were to provide what we called a customer profile. You want to profile your domestic customer and your international customer because as you get into the simulation and into the course, your company will be going global. So the US was your home or domestic country, and then you had to select a second country for the assignment. So last week was your opportunity to really think about who am I selling these shoes to? And of course, as I said in last week's announcements and probably in the live lecture last week, you have to start with what shoe you're selling. So that's the first thing. So now moving on to this week. You've already established the type of shoe you're selling. You've already established who you're selling to. And like I said in last week's assignment, you went over different characteristics of that particular, what we call target market, the target market being the people you believe will purchase your shoe. Now, people sometimes don't always know exactly who their target market is. However, it's important to target a certain group of people who you think would be most interested in purchasing your shoe. If you get other people along the way, that's great. But by focusing on a target market, you're able to develop a strong marketing plan because that marketing plan will be based on that particular group of people. And again, those are the people you decided last week. So you could have decided I'm going to sell my athletic shoes to professional women aged 29 to 49. They have certain jobs, they stand up all day, and these particular athletic shoes are actually transformable. So they can wear them at work. They can, because of the look and the design of the shoe, it can be worn at work and it can also be worn um, for any of their lifestyle athletic needs, jogging, working out, etc. That's just an example. So this week, we are researching again, or you are researching again, and you're using some of the research that you conducted in the week 1 assignment, and you're creating a mission statement for your company. So let's take a look. So you're creating a mission statement for your company, and it should be at least 1 paragraph in length, which means it should be about 3 to 5 sentences minimum, and it should answer these questions. Seeing as though there's so many questions, it's probably going to be a little bit longer than 3 sentences. So who does your company serve? Again, I provided the example of professional women between the ages of 29 to 49, I believe I said. And you want to be very specific: age, gender, which I did, income, I would say possibly 50,000 to 150,000. Occupation, I said professional, so I can get more specific as it relates to professionals. Whatever you consider professional a trade to be, I can say an executive, anyone in the C-suite, physicians, professors, anything you consider to be a professional occupation. So now I just identified the who. The next thing is how large. Well, in order to determine how large that target market is, you will have to conduct some research. So now that I have clearly identified that I'm selling my shoes to women who are 29 to 49 years old, and the income is 50,000 to 150,000, and I labeled several professional occupations, it is now my opportunity to look at number two, how large is the target market, and research. So that means I need to find out the actual number. I'm looking for an actual number for those women, okay? So I am determining now how many women fit that criteria. And so you can Google that. You can look at the US government statistics and you can find some things. So I'm just going to Google it real quick and see if I can share it with you guys. I'm just going to do a Google search really quick. Go to google.com and I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to share a new thing here. I believe this is it. Let's see. Okay, so you should be able to see them in Google. So I'm just going to do something really easy right now in Google. Wait, it says, let me make sure. Okay, hopefully you can see it now. Okay, I'm in Google. All right. So like I said, I am looking for women 29 to 49 years old professionals. How many in the USA? Okay. All right, can you see it? Just give me a thumbs up. Yay. Okay, thank you. All right, so now I'm going to the US. It took me to the site here, which is the US population by age and gender, right? And it's going to give me some data here. And let's see what I can find. All right, so right now, let's see what I can find. And I've never been on this site. I'm just showing you some various ways we can get some quick information. Okay, so let's look at women. I'm looking for women between 29 and 49. Okay. 14 million. Da, da, da. Come on, women. Let's expand this a little bit more. Oh, there's women. Aha, I had to look at the bottom of the screen there. So if you look at the bottom, there's a dark spot there for women. And so 29 to 49, that's 11, 22. I'm just rounding these numbers. 32, 42, 52 million women in that age range, okay? So I've got that first statistic. So I can say, hey, there are 52 million women between the ages of 29 and 49. That's my target market. All right, so now I want to know, and I may be able to find this number, or may not be able to find it by Googling. I might have to go to our Herzing library, but let's see. Yeah. I want to know how many of these women have professional careers. That's very important. Aha, here we go. Here is some great information, and it just tells us about professional women. Here we go. Women in the workforce. Okay, so 80% of those women, and I might change my number to 25 to 44, you know, I can change that, but 80% of those women are working. So let's get a little bit more detailed here. and see if we can find something a little more. That's the 70s, that's the 80s. Let's bring us on to the 2000s. Let's find something current here. All right. That's a good history. Let's get a little more specific here in the 2000s. We want to look at the 2000s and see what we can come up with for that age group. All right, we have 29% of some of these women have their bachelor's degree. We can use that as a statistic. Let's see. Okay, let's go down to one more. And it looks like, if I'm getting this right, all right, this is going into a little bit further than gender. It's going into ethnicity as well, but I'm just trying to find, we'll find it. Let's check this one. So the last thing we need to find is professional. So we know we've got about 52 million in that target market, but I really want to find out for my marketing strategy, how many of those women are working and in a professional capacity. So let's see what we can find. All right, let's see what we can find. All right, this might be better. I believe this is it. There we go. So sometimes you have to switch up the words depending on what you're looking for, okay? So now I'm finding out how many people, and I'm talking about working women because that's my target market, and here we go. 74.6 million are civilian labor force, not quite professional. Oh yeah, 47% of workers are women in the US, and 39% make up at least 3/4 of the workforce. Here we go. Now we're getting into more of professionals here. 74%, 71%, 65% are administrators. So these are the people I'm going to target, women in management occupations. And so now I have my statistics, as you can see here, to reach my target market. Okay, so what did we do so far? We talked about last week's assignment and how I wanted to reach women somewhere between 25 to 49 years of age that make between 50 and 150,000, and they're professional. So now I have the numbers, which is for this week's assignment. So I'm going to go back to this week's assignment and kind of show you where that fits in. So now, okay, so you should see the screen now for the word file. So number 2, it said, how large is the target market? And this is for your mission statement. And as you saw from the research, I was able to identify approximately 52 million. Actually, that's just women in general who work. And then I was able to look at that other website and get more specific numbers, which looks like it's about 15 to 20 million. Okay. So for part 2, where it says how large is your target market, you must provide a number and provide support for that. So for my support, it would be that website, the 2 websites that I showed you a few minutes ago. All right, so we've now covered number 1 and number 2 for writing your mission statement. Now, number 3, what is the scope of the product line? How many different types of shoe styles? What services are provided? Well, like I said, I am trying to reach professional women who may be on their feet, may get tired, during the day. So I'm going to start with 3 different shoe styles. I know that women like black shoes, you know, neutral colors. So I'm going to start with neutral colors, black, navy. Let's go with 4. Black, navy, tan, and white. Okay, so those are going to be the scope of my product right now is just going to be designing 4 different colors for my shoe. So it's going to be pretty minimal right now. And in terms of services, well, I am going to offer some type of warranty for my consumer, because again, I'm dealing with people that make $50,000 to $150,000. We haven't even talked about price, but I'm thinking because this is a shoe that can be worn at work and can also be worn for your playtime, whether you're working out, etc. I am going to have a shoe that's going to be priced, you know, in the hundreds. So I want to give these women the satisfaction of knowing that this shoe is going to last them at least a good year. Okay. And so that's what we're talking about when we say warranty. So now we move on to number 4. What effect will your product have on the consumer? Well, my shoe, and I'm actually going to try and use this example, you guys, for every week now. I'm writing it down. But my shoe, I think, is going to have an effect of just letting the professional woman know that she can move from one place to the next and not have to worry about her outfit so much. So I'm going to design a shoe that looks really pretty. I'm into bling. I'm into, you know, something that sparkles, but not sparkly to the point where it's just outlandish, but more or less it looks cute in a professional environment. Yet when you're going out, it's going to be just as cute, but it's also very comfortable. So the effect is that versatility. I'll just leave it at that. My effect is versatility, because she'll be able to use this working or running errands, okay? And how will the purchase of your athletic shoes impact the customer? I haven't really gotten into that earlier, but I'm dealing with a professional woman here, and most professional women have families, right? So it's going to impact her by like taking a little bit of the burden off. When you go from work to have to go get groceries, you're cooking, you're doing all sorts of things. You're in school. You want your body to feel good, and you don't want to feel like you're so tired. And one of the main reasons some women get tired is from being on their feet all day, right? So that's the impact I'm going to have. It's going to give them a comfort level that relaxes them and gives them more energy. Okay. So this is everything you guys have to do with your shoe. And again, I'm coming up with this off the top of my head, but you saw I had some research to back it up as it relates to my target market, okay? Number 5. How do you want the world to think of your brand? What should the perception of the world be as it relates to your athletic shoe brand? Okay. So again, this is something you have to think about, but I am going to say, I really want the world to think of my brand. Like I said, I use the word versatility. So I'm going to think of some other words for versatility that I think would be good for like a logo for my brand, right? So let's think a minute. Versatility. And this is kind of, I'm just walking you guys through the process of completing this assignment. For versatility, I would say, let's see. What's a good word for versatility? I'm going to say switch up. All right, so switch up. I just thought about the name of my shoe. So the name of my shoe is going to be Switch Up. And I want people to think about my brand Switch Up as a brand that provides all day comfort. And we'll do some type of support for a nonprofit as well. And I think that's important. Okay. All right. So that is part 1 of the assignment this week. And all of that information I just provided should be in about 1 to 2 paragraphs. Any questions on step 1 for the week 2 assignment? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Go ahead. How you doing, Tracy?
I'm good, thank you. I didn't start on time. I wasn't sure it has started. Anyway, my question is, if we have to Google the question that we do the research on the type of shoe and the population, is this going to be like the previous one, foreign and domestic?
Okay, yeah, good question. So let me ask you this before I answer your question. Looking at your foreign, looking at your foreign and your domestic consumer, did you find out from last week that they're different?
Yes.
Okay, yes.
A little
So yeah.
bit, because I was trying to use UK. I couldn't get much information. Then I changed them because I just submitted my work today. I changed it to Germany.
Okay, so that's great. So yes, you want to look at your consumer in the US and then Germany. I think you said Germany.
Yeah.
So yep, so that's how you're going to do it. Any other questions on that part?
No, just following you.
Yeah, no, that's good. That was a great question. So hopefully people listen to this recording will know, depending on the consumer that you chose from last week, you may find that whoever you're selling to in the US may be different. Now, I focused on the US today.
Okay.
It would take me too long to do this whole thing again for the other country, but you guys can do, you will have to do that as well. So you may find that, let's just say Germany, for example, Germany, just in my history of knowing some of the culture of Germany, Germans equate price to quality. So if you're deciding that your shoe is going to be a higher quality based shoe, you're going to have to sell that pretty high in Germany. So you're talking hundreds of dollars. Whereas in the US, you might be able to sell that same high quality shoe for maybe, 90 to 175. In Germany, you're going to up the price probably to 200 to 300 German, was it euros?
Yes.
Right. Okay. So that just gives you kind of a difference there. All right.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to move on to step 2. This is a very important part of the process as well. And now this is a little bit different as it relates to your goals. Because some people are like, well, I have no idea how much profit I want to make, blah, blah, blah. So at this point in time, we're looking at general numbers here because you're starting out a company. So you're starting out a shoe company. So I would suggest you guys that your profit you want to make is probably going to be somewhere between 775,000 and probably 3 million to stay in business. So for part 2, you have to have a number. And again, you can go back to Google. I'm not going to switch back to Google right now, but you can go back to Google and you can say, what is the average profit that an athletic shoe company makes? Bam, you'll get that number and you can use that number, okay? So that's not too hard, right? Now, return on sales. Again, you can Google this. What is the average return on sales for an athletic shoe company? And how long does it take? Okay, you can do that as well. But for most companies, anyone who's starting a company knows that you want to make a profit within a good 18 months, 18 months to 24 months max. If you don't make it by then, you should try something else. Okay. So again, that's that market share. Now this one is what confuses a lot of people. Market share, and if you're not familiar with that term, it means what percentage of the target market do you feel that you'll be able to retain as a customer and why? So think about it. I am selling my shoes to people who are 29 to 49 years old, right? They make about $50,000 to $150,000. What percentage of those people who purchase shoes, athletic shoes, do I think will buy my brand, which is called Switch Up? Well, if I look at the research, I'm going to say Nike probably has 45%, I don't know, of the market. Skechers probably has, a good 40% for women. They probably have more than that. I think, so, all right, 80% of the market's gone. So I'm going to say a good 15 to 20% is what I'm going to look at because that's going to allow me to make a profit. Okay. And again, you can research the numbers and see who your competitors are. We'll get more in depth in this as we go along, but you can start researching that now. Nike is probably not my direct competitor. It'll probably be more of a Skechers brand that I think would be more of a competitor for my target market. Okay, and then the last one is customer satisfaction. What percentage of customers do you feel will be satisfied? A lot of times students put 100%, but I'm here to tell you, I don't think it's possible. Sorry. I would never aim for 100%. I just think it's too difficult. I don't know. I really don't know any companies that have 100% satisfaction. However, I do know companies that have 90, 92, 95. Those are better numbers. And you'll find out in the simulation, you'll be able to see what your customer satisfaction rate looks like. Okay. Yes, go ahead.
How do you prove dissatisfaction?
Yeah, that doesn't have to be proven.
Okay.
That's just something that your company strives for, and you can kind of explain how you will, make sure that with, like in my case, I'm giving a 1-year warranty, and I'm doing some extra things for my customers to make sure they're pleased. So you can always say, these are the steps that I'll take, to gain that 97%, but that one can't necessarily be proved because you won't know until, people take surveys, when you go to stores and you take the customer satisfaction surveys and all that. That's the only way they find out. Good question. All right, so part 3. Now it's time for the strategy. Okay.
That's a lot.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. So now it's time for the strategy. Now we're going back to looking at those 2 markets again. How will you enter each of the markets? So in the week 1 presentation, you chose the US and you chose a different country. Now, how will you get into those countries, that new country? So are you going to partner with somebody in the foreign marketplace? Are you going to start from scratch in the foreign marketplace? In the US, you just might enter the market by opening up a manufacturing facility. Explain how you're going to start your business. How are you going to enter into the marketplace? Okay. Part 2, we're talking about the marketing mix. So marketing mix, and the foundation of marketing is product, place, promotion, and price. This is where you share all the details. If you're selling your product in Germany, like I said, right here is where you put that price at a couple $100, $300 or 300 euros, because you know that this is a high quality product. They're going to pay more for it because they know it's high quality. In the US, I might sell my shoes for 180 because, like I said, the warranty is good for these shoes for a year. So I think $180 for a shoe that you can wear 5 days a week and, work out in it, it's a pretty good price, right? Okay. So this is the spot. This is where you explain your shoe. That's what product is. This is where you explain your price for the 2 markets, the US and whatever country you're going to. This is where you're going to explain your promotion for the US and the country you're going to. And this is where you're going to explain place. I don't think I need to expand on product because you guys are creating your own product and you're going to explain it. So that's up to you. Get as detailed as you can. Price, I just explained to you, it's going to be based on what you're selling. If you're selling a high quality, genuine leather shoe, you're going to sell it for a higher price. And then depending on who you're selling it to, US, you can sell it for a little bit cheaper than Germany. Promotion.
Exactly.
Now promotion. So this is a part where you're going to say, hey, am I doing some buy one, get one frees? Am I doing some buy one, 25% off? Am I doing some actual discounted promotions to sell these products? In Germany, probably not. In the US, as an introductory special, yeah, I would recommend it. Who doesn't like a sale in the US? I don't know anyone, right? So that's what the promotion section is about. How are you going to promote your product with discounts? And then finally, place. Where are you selling it? Well, right now, guess what? I think your best bet is online. We're in the middle, right now, let's do online sales, see how that goes. And you can also obviously put in there that you're going to have brick and mortar locations as well. So that's what we're talking about with place. Where are you selling? Brick and mortar stores, online, door-to-door sales, etc. Okay? And you're doing that again for both markets. And then finally, what is your product development budget? Again, you can research this, and I do highly recommend you research it. I've seen budgets from 2 million to 7 million, and the students have done a great job researching how much it costs to develop a brand new product for a domestic and foreign marketplace. So you're going to explain how much you're going to spend in both markets. And then as we get into the simulation next week, we'll have some more details on that. So this is a paper. So make sure you have an introduction, the body that we just went over, all the information that goes in the body, a conclusion, title page and reference page, include all the sources that you use to get the data that you research for the assignment. And it should be APA formatted. There's also a video that is in the announcements that's attached to this particular announcement. If you look at the top, it's called the week 2 assignment announcement. And there is a video right there where I go through all this information. And of course, I just went through it in this live lecture, and that's recorded as well. So that's really all I wanted to review this week, was assisting you guys with linking last week's assignment to this week's assignment. I've mentioned it to some of you, and I think I posted in the class, each assignment builds on the other. So all the information that you use for week 1 does not go to waste. You'll be using it moving forward, as well as you create a final marketing plan for the class. And let's see. Oh, don't forget to please log into the simulation. Please make sure you log in. You should have received your username and passwords a couple days ago from Interpretive. Please log in as soon as possible. They do give you the opportunity to play around with the simulation until, I believe, Saturday. And then Sunday it goes live. That means that's when you're going to start making your decisions that you get graded for. But you can play around with it until Saturday.
So what do we do with the stimulation?
Okay, so I'm going to go into detail next week about that, because the first one isn't due till Thursday of next week. But the simulation is basically a game. And the way that the game works is that you have the opportunity to plug in like some of these numbers, how much you're going to spend on your marketing budget, how much you're going to spend on product development, promotions, and things of that nature. And it's kind of giving you, it gives you the insight into marketing from the numbers perspective, because a lot of times we just look at marketing from social media and ads and, you know, the things we see, but we don't see how much it costs. So the simulation is there to kind of show you the balance between spending your money, how you spend money for a marketing and actual marketing budget, and how that aligns with the creative part of marketing as well. So it's really easy. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes to make a decision. There are no wrong answers. It's a game. So if you think you messed up, you can't mess up. It's just a game. So I tell people all the time, I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't know if I entered the right numbers, blah, blah, blah. Don't worry about it. It is a game. As long as you enter numbers and the numbers look good, you're good to go. And you save them.
Go ahead, sorry.
No, I'm done.
So with the password the school emailed to us, where do we plug it in?
Okay, so you're going to interpretive.com and you're going to put in your username and password that was emailed to you from Interpretive. And then you're also going to put in the access code that you received from the bookstore when you validated your books.
Okay, so we type in interpretive.com at Google.
Yeah, but there's a link in the classroom. You can just click on the link. It is under, let me see if I can find it. It is, let's see. If you go to module 1, or actually no, if you click on modules and then it says read me first.
Yes.
And there's a link where it says new shoe simulation. You just click on that link and it takes you right to Interpretive.
All
and then
right.
you just click log in.
Sounds good. I'll find it.
Yep. So that is it. That's how you prepare for the week 2 assignment and get logged into interpretive. Today is Wednesday. I will be checking in Thursday, if not today, Thursday, with everyone to see who has and hasn't checked in with interpretive and set up their accounts. So please try and do that as soon as possible.
Okay.
And then I'll check in again with you guys probably Monday or Tuesday for anyone who has not logged in again. I'll check in with you again because with the simulation, everything has to be submitted on time. You cannot go backwards because the simulation automatically advances. So it's really important to get in there and make those decisions on Thursdays. And you can make them before Thursday, but the deadline is Thursday.
Next week.
And yes, each
Okay.
week starting with week 3, the deadline is Thursday and Sunday for the decisions, but you
Okay,
can only
so we
make
have to make
one
every-
at a time.
Yes. Each
Yes.
week we have to make one decision. Each week we have to make one decision.
2.
Two decision. Monday.
Yeah, one is due Thursday and one is due Sunday.
Okay.
However, you can only do one at a time. So if you make your decision, say you decide you're going to do it on Tuesday, even though it's due Thursday, you have to wait till Friday to make the second one because everybody, it's a game. So it has to advance, and then it looks at everyone's results, compiles the results, and then you know, see where you are, where your standing is in the game, if that makes sense. So yeah. Okay. Any other questions or concerns?
Not now.
Okay. All right, you guys. Well, I have now officially reviewed the week 2 assignment. I hope that this information was useful. I spent a good 30 minutes on it. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and have a fabulous day. If you have any questions, you can reach me via email, text, phone, or inbox me in Canvas. All right, have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.